Okay, so today, what is today's date there, Ched?
8th of December.
Yeah. So each thing you should have that, and then actually the date should be the second one. The let's put it doesn't matter. Okay, then name, put your name, and then the topic. The topic is 0.11 imports. Okay. Who can tell me what is an import? In your own words. What are imports? Correct. So imports is a way to import other people's functions within your code. You don't need to do any of the programming. You just need to use this key thing called import. A really famous one is called import random. And random is a function that will give you a random number. Okay? Again, you should save this on your desktop under your folder. Okay? So it's unit 0 programs, and we finished 2D arrays last week. We're on 0.11, and it's called imports. Okay? After you save it, hit run and see if the random thing. It doesn't give you an error. That means we have imported successfully. It looks like it didn't do anything. But Wendy, what did this do? Import random, and I run the code. Does it do anything? There's nothing that comes out. But he did do something. Tell me what he did. This function did something. What did he do? Yes, it actually imported the random library. And if you go into Bing or Google and you Google what are the functions of random in Python, it's going to give you a whole list of different things. Okay? Because within that library, we have import random. There's random choice. See, it says random is you have to use the same name as the import. Random is the library. And then you have this dot notation. This is a choice function. Okay? So this will, if you have a list, it's going to randomly choose something there. That's really interesting. Let's do that. Okay? So in Python, to do a random choice, let's see if it's going to output a random number. So I run this and it says 4. If I run this again, it says 4 again. Maybe you have to put a random seed in it. And instead it's 1 now. That's really cool. So we can generate a random function by using random choice. So I'm just going to put a little comment there. If I do random dot choice, you can use an array. What this does, can you explain there, Ched? What does random choice do? What is this called from last class? If I had this 中括号, what is the name of this right here? What is the name of this variable? If you have a whole bunch of variables into one, do you know the name of this variable? What is his name? Starts with an A. Can you read it? Yes. So an array is a variable with multiple variables. Wendy, what is the difference between an array in Python versus on the exam? Tell me one key difference from last class. What is one key difference about pseudocode and Python? Yes, in an array. Yes, very good. Okay, Uma, what is one other key difference between arrays in pseudocode versus Python? Yeah, you can tell me what is the difference with the index numbers? Other way around. Yes, in Python, if I wanted to print, this is from last class, if I wanted to print the number 3, what would I have to put there, Uma? If I want to print this, so I'm going to put 2. Okay, let's see if this is correct. So this is the index number 2, and we get 3. Yeah, okay. But in pseudocode, the index number will be 1, 2, and you'd put in the number 3. Okay, that's from last class. Okay, so let's just quickly have a review of today. Okay, again, we're studying about libraries, imports of libraries, and you should be able to import libraries and use it to generate a random number. Okay, so this is what we're studying. What are imports? They allow you to use other people's code. And you can import a specific library by using the from this library dot, and then you have some notation. This is going to import a specific library. If you want to save code, you can actually just import a specific snippet of code from that import. Okay. Now we're going to make our own library. Okay. And to make our own library, I just need everyone to look at the PPT for a brief moment. I want you to generate your own function. We're going to save it as a support file. Wendy, I'll need you to look here. We're going to use, because the next week, we're going to do this thing called importing files. And so we're going to make our own Python file called a library. You're going to make a support.py library. And then what you're going to do is we're going to create a new program and import our function. We're going to create our own and see if it works. Okay? So let's do this right here. We're going to generate our own function. Instead of just importing random with someone else, we're going to make our own function. Okay? So what we're going to do, score number 1, make your own library function. Okay? How to do that? We use def, and I'm going to print name is my function. Okay. Inside this function, I'm going to print, and then you're going to just put your name. You're going to write your own name. Okay. You can do this on your own computer. Okay. So here's my function. It is just going. I called my library is going to be the name of the file, and then within this function, it's just going to print your name. Very, very basic. Okay. And then we have to have a return because you need to return the data from the function. So we're going to put a return at the end of my code. Okay. So we're just going to hit return. What does the return do? It gives the data back to the main program. Okay. So we need to have a return in there within our thing. After you just type this, you don't need to put the comments if you're just trying it. I just need you to write 3 lines of code. Does everyone have it typed? What you're going to do is save this. Okay, score number 2. You're going to save this called support.py. Okay, we're going to make a support file. So how to do that? You just go File, Save As, okay? And then instead of calling 0.1 imports, which is our main program, you're going to call it support. And it's already as a Python file, but if you want to put the extension, you go .py, okay? So do that right now. Call it support.py. Hit Save. Now, when I go to my desktop, I can actually see this function. I'm just going to minimize here. And within here, you'll see I have a support file and it is a Python file. So if I open up this, it is a file that is actually printing my name, but I'm going to import it. Okay. Now go back to your file. Go back to your file. And I want you to go File, Open. And we're going to open up our old programming note, 0.1, 11 imports. Okay. So I'm going to open up my old note. Okay. So I actually have two files. You can see that this is called support.py. And then I have my my code here. Okay. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to now import this library. How do I import the library? What is the key word there, Ched? How to import. What is the key thing that you need to put in front of the library? What is that word on the byban? If I want to import, look at the byban, import random, what is the word in front of random? In front, 在前面. Look down there. The key word for importation is, can you see it there? It's import. You'll see, what color does it change there, Ched? What color is this right here? 什么颜色? Orange. Wendy, why does it turn orange? Why does import turn orange? Because it's a keyword. Okay? Import is going to take someone else's program and put it into mine. What is the library name I'm going to use there, Uma? What is the name of this library here? The print name library. What did I save it as? Support. So what I'm going to do is import support. What does this do? This imports my support code. You can't see it, but it's actually there. And then I'm going to call a function within there. To call a function within that, if I let's just actually have a run and see if this works. Okay, I'm going to hit save. It doesn't show anything. That means I've successfully imported my function, my my support library. Now I'm going to call a function. How to call the function? I'm going to go support dot, and then you just put the function name, print underscore name, and that's going to call a function within it. Support. No, it's not called that. It's called print name. Okay. This is the function within it. Call a function within my library. All right. And this should print my name. Have a try. I'm going to hit run. Oh my goodness. It says Mr. Newson. It worked. Let's add other function. Go into your support file. So you're going to basically have two files open. I'm going to open support. And in here, I'm going to make a second function. Right? Let me call a second function is add. Okay, I'm just going to add. And I'm going to actually pass some numbers in here. Let's see if this can work here. I'm going to go AB, they're integers. Print A plus B, and then return. Okay? Within your support thing, I want you to add a second function called add, and we're going to add two numbers. We're going to actually pass a variable. Okay, this is something that we started and then return that. Okay, so again, this is my library. And then go into your import. And I'm going to call that library there, and we'll see if it works. Support is the library I made, and I want to call the second function, we call it add. And then in here, I'm actually passing some variables. So I'm going to go 4, 5. And this should add to 9. Let's see if this works. I'm going to run this. Have a little run. Okay. It has no attribute add. Let me think about this. I'm I have to double check here. To pass a variable. To pass within it, maybe we can't do that. Maybe we can't do it. I have to double check that. Add num. I'm going to have to double research how to pass a number into a function. Okay, I'm not sure if we can do that within that. I want to make it global within that. I'm going to have to Google that. Oh, maybe I have to save the file. I have to save this file. Make sure that you save the file first, because he didn't know the function name. Okay? That's the problem. I didn't save my library. So that's why he couldn't find the add function. So that is a beautiful thing to remember. Oh, and it worked. Nice. Okay? Did you get that there, Wendy? What is the problem that I had? It couldn't find add num y. This actually worked, but when I first ran, it didn't work. When you work, what is the problem when you're working with two files? What do you have to do before you run? No, not in the same file, because we're importing. The idea is I made a library outside, and then I'm importing him. But what was the issue? Can everyone just look on the PPT for 1 minute? Ched? When you have two files open, you have to make sure any changes to your library, you must go file save for it to update. Otherwise, it won't be able to find your functions. Okay, you make two functions and show me. It's working on your computer there. So you should have two files. One is a support file, your library. The other one is your import file there. I'm going to just pause the video. Okay, so no problem. We can make a support file. Agree? And we can call that. Very good. What is the benefit of importing things instead of just putting the function within my code there, Wendy? Why would I want to make a library? Why wouldn't I just put that code into my main program? Yeah, and also you can share your code with the world. You can make a random library where other people can import your code and use it within their own. And they don't need to know how you did it. They just need to understand the name of the functions. You know, there's this library called pygame. Okay? Have you heard about pygame? Pygame? Have you heard about this? Uma, have you heard about a library called pygame? Pygame is a function that you can import into Python to make games. Okay? So that's the one useful thing. Okay. What we're going to do is rand int. Okay? We're going to make a smart game that generates a random number, and then you're going to guess what that number is. Okay? There's lots of other functions, but the two that I want us to focus on is random. Please look in pseudocode. This is the random function. Okay? The random function they use is random. Okay? We have a function called round. These are also functions, but random, inside the bracket, you can put returns a random number between 0 and 1. Okay? Can you just please have a look on the screen there, Wendy? So in pseudocode, if I want to generate a random number, it doesn't. It generates a number between 0 and 1. Okay? And so what we have to do is, if I want to make a random number between 0 and 6, for example, you go random bracket times 6, comma 0. This is going to generate a random number. Okay? But for our instance, we're going to generate a number between, okay, let's do 1 and 6 in Python. So go back to Python. this is the one that we can do. Okay, we're going to, Chad, you can type this one out. We're going to make a game using imports random to generate a random number between 1 to 10 for the user to guess. Okay, so we're going to make a random game. You don't need to type the red there, Chet, it's okay. What you need to type is import random. Okay, and then we're going to generate a random number. So I call the library called random dot rand int. Randint will generate a random integer, and we want to go from 1 to 10. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 10. And then I'm going to make a num, a random number is equal to that. I'll just call it random. And then I'm going to print this. Print random. Okay, I'm going to hit run. And we get 3. If I hit run again, it should generate 8. Okay, so the random number is working. And now what you want to do is make a guessing game. Okay, so we want a main loop. We're going to make a guessing game. Make a guessing game. So while my guess is not equal to random, while my guess is not correct, I'm going to run my game. Guess the number. Okay. Outside here, I'm going to get a guess. I'm going to put a random guess as this -1. This is just like set up the guess variable with wrong data. I want the guess to be wrong because I want it to go in the main loop. Okay. And then in here, I'm going to ask the user to guess the number. So I'm going to say guess is equal to int input. Please guess a number between 1 and 10. Okay. And then if the guess is equal to my random number, okay, if you guess right, I'm going to print you win. Okay. Else, what I'm going to do is print wrong guess. Try again. There we go. Here's my guessing game. So what happens is I have an infinite loop that's going to run while the guess is not equal to the random number. I'm going to ask the user input. If it's equal, you have to use a double equal sign in Python. Just note about that. You win, else print, sorry, try again. So we're going to see if this game works. I'm missing a bracket at the back here. Okay, I'm going to run. I'm missing a colon here. Please guess. Oh, 5. Wrong, 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 wrong. I know the correct one is 6, and you win. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, we made a random number. What I want you to do for your schoolwork, I want you to improve on this game. Schoolwork number 1 is to type the code, get it to work. Okay, that's level 1. If you can get the random number to work like this, great. Schoolwork number task. I'll call these tasks. Okay. I'll give you some tasks to complete to show your understanding. Task number 2, change the code. So if you guess too high, it tells you. Okay, so you can put an if statement. If your guess is greater than random number, say you guess too high. This is going to make the game a little bit easier. Okay. Task number 3. Change the code if you guess too low. Too low, it will tell you. Okay. Task number 3. Make a variable. Make a variable to track the number of guesses before you get the correct one. Okay. And change the guess range. Change the guess range from 1 to 100. Okay, I want to play your game. Okay. Change the guess range from 1 to 100 and that. Okay, so those are the 3 tasks for you guys to complete. Okay, so this is in class. Do this in class. Then show me your level. Okay, so the very first thing is to get this code to run. I'm going to send it on Teams, so you don't need to copy it. So if we just go into Teams, I will send it through the chat there, chat, and then you guys just work on that. So grade 11. Just note that we do have our mock exams on Thursday at 1:30 for computer science. Okay, I will do a nice review later on this week. So here is, oh, sorry. Here's the random game tasks. Okay, there we go. So this is just showing your understanding about imports. It's showing your understanding of if statements, and I just want you to play around and try to do these 4 tasks here. And then I will come to you individually if you have any questions about the tasks. When you finish it off, you can then work your homework. This is basically part of one of your homework tasks, but your homework is 0.11, and you can kind of choose one of these. I'm doing level 1. But you need to show me, okay, this is our schoolwork. Okay, it shouldn't take too long. And then put that into your programming thing. Cool. Yeah, 0.11 imports. This will be due tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. Okay.